stay here in the manosphere space with feminists, really young, stupid feminists, and then the young men who have the temptation to react. It's really easy to give in to the temptation.
Let's play by your rules then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are times when that's appropriate if you're trying to make a particular point.
I think we've both occasionally been at the gym hooping when a girl shows up and wants to play with the guys.
We actually, I'll tell a story about this. My roommate and I were playing intramurals. We got asked to come be on this team. We didn't know it was co-ed. They had made it so that if any man blocked a woman's shot, it was goaltending.
Oh no.
Met a ghost of a king on the road when I first fell. Fire burning to my knees I fell. Met a ghost of a king on the road.
Here we are, Brian.
We're here.
Episode 249.
Yeah, we're catching up on... No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
We're going to put this one in the bank. It'll be 249.
Yeah. To save
what are we doing
till
today?
Next year.
What do we actually... I don't know what number it is, of course.
I don't think this is number 200, but it's very close.
We'll have to shoot guns in the air when we hit 200.
Just 200 is a lot. I mean, how many can one do of one podcast? I see Russell Moore has done 215 of his. So we've got a ways to go.
Gauntlet. The gauntlet. Okay. So what are we doing today?
Today, well, we're starting, of course, with a few pitches. We've got 3 because we're going to get out of this AI-created art and then hopefully transition nicely into either conspiracy theories or extracting meaning from texts.
Okay, so we're going 3. Are we going to go fast or are we going to get distracted?
I mean, well, you've been distracted before, so.
It has happened.
3 different genres, 3 different, I don't know. What does that show?
Are you at 9 first?
Yep, 9 first. If you hold it up, Prince Warden and the Dragon Stones.
Prince Warden. Double titles.
DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon meets Andrew Peterson's Wingfeather Saga in a middle grade fantasy adventure.
What does that mean?
Well, I think it means it has dragons. And it means...
very emotional.
He's just kind of skinny. A young prince who dreams of seeing a dragon, a kidnapped princess trying to escape, a mysterious deal between an unknown villain and a kingdom of flying warriors. Guys, got to stop.
Always.
You got to stop the unknown stuff, guys.
Which is like,
Hey, hold on. I
don't know what this is. Unknown by whom? By me, the one writing this pitch.
The pitcher. You didn't let me finish my long
I apologize.
list.
Continue.
Okay, back to a kidnapped princess trying to escape, a mysterious deal between an unknown villain and a kingdom of flying warriors, and 3 stones that intertwine their destinies. I think that's intertwined destinies of the prince, princess, villain, and the kingdom of the flying warriors.
These stones are like boiled noodles that intertwine. That's sort of a pasta effect.
Hold on. Maybe I should have skipped all that stuff.
Keep going.
Because we actually get concrete.
Do we?
Right? Crown Prince Warden has always dreamed of adventure, particularly of the dragonish kind. When his kingdom falls and the flying Reptilian warriors capture him, he receives unlikely aid from a rebel Reptilian named Ithrin, who returns to him a stone taken from his prince's crown. Ithrin warns that he must keep it away from his enemies or risk losing more than he already has. Accompanied by Kondrek, another kidnapped heir, Warden must navigate a world crawling with strange creatures and foes. What he doesn't know is that the dragons he has always dreamed of seeing are behind his kingdom's undoing.
He's surprised the dragons are bad.
He hasn't read very many stories, especially not his own. Ooh. See, you know what? We could have edited this one out just on clarity, but now I didn't read to the end to find out when it contradicts itself. On to the next one.
This one, though, if you think like, okay, there's a lot of eggs in this pudding. And it's in one paragraph, it's not exactly coherent. Doesn't all come together. But his kingdom falls. Reptilian, okay, new term. We're just introducing Reptilian, which is...
Are they different than the dragons? I assume they were the same.
Who knows, really? Young prince dreams of seeing a dragon. A kidnapped princess trying to escape. By whom, where?
And an unknown villain.
Unknown villain. I mean, it's
apparently
just
a dragon is the villain, though.
I would just say this is not a pitch. This is an assemblance, an assembly, I should say, an assembly of some props and some cutout characters. But but it's not actually a story pitch.
Yeah. And just if it's not clear in a paragraph, it for sure won't be clear in
you add hundreds of
70,000
pages,
words.
It will not get better.
Okay, we're on to the next one. Galois.
Galois.
Dramatization of the life of Galois. Thank you for including a pronunciation guide.
Galois.
Galois. Brilliant young mathematician who revolutionizes many fields of mathematics having to do with polynomials. I did Google this. Despite all the time he spent in jail on account of his revolutionary tendencies, he commits suicide by gun duel at the age of 20 because of a coquette, a loose woman, apparently.
How did you pick these, Brian?
I'm just going in a variety of order. We haven't done them recently. You're just saying we haven't got a good pitch yet. Is that what you're saying here?
This is not a pitch
Not
either.
a pitch. It's just an idea.
So, hey, I've got this idea of telling the story of a jail-bound young mathematician who kills himself by gun duel. Not interested. I mean,
it doesn't strike you as a beautiful mind potential?
No, not even kind of. This is classic romantic revolutionary. This is Dead Poet Society earlier and noisier. This is Byron and the romantic era of kind of mythologizing troublemakers for the wrong reasons. So
yeah,
he has struggled to control himself in any way, sexually, socially, and then morally, obviously, would be sexually as well. But he then commits suicide. Like what? You'd have to have so much more that would be interesting.
Yeah,
because right now it's just
he's a bad guy.
Yeah, this is like a really cheap independent film that's desperate to win an award. Like it's entirely an award bet of this guy is going to always be Bucky's. It's Footloose, but with math. And he's going to be bucking tradition, convention, and authority. Have we ever seen anybody buck tradition, convention, and authority?
Right.
Yes, we have. So this guy is going to be bucking tradition, convention, and authority, and math. Also, apparently getting into sexual liaisons, which will end up getting him killed by suicide. So he's wrapped up with self-loathing, maybe because he's bucked tradition, convention, and authority. It's just, anyway.
Yeah. Sort of what they did with the retelling of the life of Emily Dickinson and the life of all these people, where they're just like, the tortured soul can do math really well, but spends it on hating King, whatever Louis it is, post-Napoleonic Revolution.
Yeah, this one's just...
This guy should be the villain. He's the unknown villain from our previous pitch.
Yeah.
And then this one is not. This one's not a pitch.
Oh, good. Why did you get these, Brian?
These are the last three that I had. What kind of publisher
are you?
These are the last three that I had on my list. And we're going to go find some more because there's a few more in here. But these are the last that the team had printed out for me. A scientific theory turned hive mind religion is taking over the world. A rural truck driver finds himself on a load, hauling the piece that proves it all wrong, risking it all, decides to do something about it. I didn't read through this one ahead of time enough because it's not understandable.
Yeah, I actually understand. I mean, I would rather read this than the last one.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
so what are the ingredients that are slightly?
Still, like you're right. It's not a full pitch, obviously.
Yeah.
So scientific theory turned hive mind religion. It wouldn't be a theory, obviously. It would have to be
an AI,
massive infrastructure.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence turned hive mind religion. We're watching that happen already. Taking over the world. Rural truck driver finds himself on a load hauling the piece that proves it all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it would have to be the piece that would destroy it, not just that would prove it wrong in a classroom.
Sure.
It has to be he's hauling the one ring. We have a Sauron of artificial intelligence. He's hauling the thing that could destroy it or like entrench its power for quite some time and then risking it all to do something about it, whatever that means. That's kind of like, oh, don't worry, there'll be a story.
Yeah.
I promise to tell you a story. But in terms of like, okay, hive mind religion, a rural truck driver who's currently on the outskirts outside of it all, somehow has the thing that could destroy it. And then now he's got to risk it all to do something about it. At least this is a kind of a log line of a straight to streaming film that would have 3 acts. So I could see this go by in one of those carousels on,
Yeah.
on a streamer where it's like, okay.
Because it's 2000. It's a remaking of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, and we've promised at the end, you promised there would be a story. So it's a quest. He's going to be on a quest of destruction, whatever.
Right.
But you go back to the other one and you're like, oh, there's going to be dragons and there's going to be characters and there's going to be props that are reptilian.
Yeah.
And there's going to be kingdoms and all that stuff and princesses. And then you go to the other one, you're like, there's going to be a dude who's always in jail because he's bad. He sleeps around and kills himself. Okay.
So it's not as
So this one at least is
Yeah.
big villain. I've got the piece to destroy it, and I will go on this quest of destruction. Here's not, a pitch there of what the story actually is, but at least there's the components of a plot.
And truck driver versus AI.
Sure.
I guess it kind of could work.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm thinking of Hal in 2001 and all the stories that have done the same sort of thing. I think
It could a little bit Brazil, where you have the air conditioner repairman who's a terrorist because he's doing it without a license, without going through the full permitting process.
Yeah.
So this, I would immediately think the truck driver is driving illegally, but in that society, he's already an outlaw.
Right. Because he don't have all the right licenses, and it's all controlled by AI.
And all the other trucks, there's gonna be a whole bunch of unmanned trucks driving all around him. He's gonna be like the human trying to pattern the driving that will fit into the AI driven trucks to get somewhere. Like there's things about it where it's like, okay, I can.
Yeah. And I do think we've spoken quite fondly of the blend of false religions and scientism.
Yeah.
And so this fits.
There's only one character, so there'd be a lot more than that, and there's only the promise that I will tell a story, but at least there's a villain, the thing that will destroy the villain, and a character who's a little bit of an outsider.
As you're going up, trying to set up that outsider with his motivations or where he would go on this quest, what's the quickest way to provide quick, understandable motivation?
The motivations have to be human.
Okay.
Like you have to have really, really human primal motivations, and then you want to set up a clock. So there's some kind of limited time frame. It has to be by such and such a time. You can't just do it arbitrarily. It has to feel like an organic and natural outworking of the situation. So if you have people love to come up with big abstract things. I'm going to save the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you want to? What's the purpose of this world saving? What is the incredibly human motivator that will keep somebody moving? What will keep you moving through all these obstacles? What have you lost? And is this revenge? Is this a journey of revenge? I'm working on a story right now where you have characters who are starting out for like pure vengeance. That's it. They want destruction, and that's all they want because they want to get their own back. And then their motivators have to change. The character actually has to arc and pivot into a more effective motivator, which is the best way to actually get revenge, as opposed to just participating in the old cycle.
The vengeance system.
Yeah. So
can you tell us any of the more ingredients of yours that you're working on?
No, I can't, because it's all on the DL. So I wish I could make it more concrete, but it's great.
There's a story.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. I'm on a team of a lot of it was. I'm on a team of 3 writers on that one. And it's very superhero-y, but more in the Logan vein, in terms of old lions on a final run, really bitter, consumed with a desire to destroy their enemies.
Yeah.
And having to be motivated positively instead of negatively. Having to come to a positive motivation.
So do you find Logan to be something worthwhile? Or I guess the idea behind it is
the
more?
idea. Okay. Yeah. I find a lot about it to be worthwhile and some of it just to be same old. But,
right. But more interesting than sort of trying to run the Marvel cycle over and over again.
Yeah. Older Spider-Man has pretty interesting things about it. Some Spider-Verse, Iron Man.
Yeah.
There's things like that are pretty fun. Even the first Avengers. But Logan is got a kind of a more real edge to it. I don't like Act 3 all that much. I don't mind his sacrifice. I don't mind all that. But that's similar because he is just a nihilist.
Yeah.
And then he transitions into fighting for something.
Right.
You see this even in something like as childish as Willow.
Yeah.
You know, where you have Mad Mortigan in this cage, Val Kilmer brilliantly playing him. He has no king. He fights for no one. And his friend mocks him as having no purpose.
Yeah.
He just fights for himself. Mm-hmm. And then Logan's not that way. Logan's fully, like, if he was locked in a cage that long, Mad Mortigan would be more like Logan, but he's still pretty chipper.
Yeah.
He's upbeat, and he's honestly just a narcissist, but like a positive narcissist, really self-absorbed, whereas Logan is nihilistic in his narcissism. He's just as self-obsessed and with his misery. But he has to live positively and sacrifice himself positively for something. Mad Mortigan does the same. He has the same kind of transition from selfishness to selflessness, and his is more cartoony and playful than Logan's is. So it's something a little bit similar, but hopefully a lot more dissimilar.
Yeah.
So 3 dudes who are dragged into something they don't want to be doing, all ruthless, brutal guys, completely amoral, all full of true and profound hate for their enemies, which happen to be Rome. So most people don't know there's this empire that ran for like 500 years adjacent to Rome, the Parthian Empire, and Persepolis and so on. Powerful, and never went down in those conflicts. Like held its own, but was always it was like being in the NBA during Michael Jordan's era.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're a powerful empire, and you know what? No one knows about you. No one cares. You've kind of disappeared in the pages of history because you were, you had to put on that professional empire jersey while Michael Jordan was wearing his. Rome was doing its thing for much longer, and the Parthians just kind of fade. So you have really powerful, dangerous people who loathe Rome deeply, and don't even want to be bothered to go on a mission. Can only be motivated to because they hate Romans so much, and then they get roped into this journey that actually does sort of morph all of them into more positively motivated. Just as bloody, just as violent, but the motivation and all the selfishness has to evaporate and all the selflessness has to show up. So it's basic, and there's concrete corners to all these things that cause these turns, but that's all I can really say.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm thinking of Terminal List here with a similar sort of like, let's take, but I think they failed.
I was so bored of that show. I tried it, but it was just.
I think they failed to take the pivot you're talking about because it's supposed to be like, wow, you're going down. So you at least might as well get back at.
Yeah, let's put it this way. There's a couple kind of like vicarious wish fulfillment manosphere reels, let's say, or TikToks, where people love to see. Young dudes love to see some chick just get knocked out cold. You know, some girl is yapping.
It's so annoying, yeah.
Is just yapping, and she's hitting some guy, and the guy just lays her out. And they're like, equality. There's whole accounts just dedicated to just posting these moments of what they call equality. And whether it's guys in the weight room watching some chick get stuck under the weights and they just don't help. They just ignore her and everybody's ha 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 while she's pinned down. That's one kind of
revenge.
And then there's another kind where you see a guy jumping in and being protective of a girl who insists she needs no protection. You see a guy doing what needs to be done, rescuing a girl, saving the day, jumping in. And it's sort of, there's 2 types. One is men actually ignoring the noise of all the lies and the feminism and everything else and hopping up. Then the other one is just people getting theirs, just getting their comeuppance completely. And they feed different parts of the character. The people who are enjoying these things are being fed in different ways. So wanting to see somebody who's wrong and who's bothered you and who's been a problem and it really is a problem just be smashed.
Yeah.
Or seeing somebody who rises above all that and despite all the noise, still does the right thing. Still is living inside their own calling, regardless of what's happening. It made me happy when my dad was on CNN and what's her name? Pamela Brown, is that her name? He's holding the door open for her, and he's just.
That was right after the section where they were talking about how mistreated women are.
Yeah. And it's also it's not like he's doing that intentionally to try to win the argument.
No,
he's doing it on reflex because this is
B-roll.
what he does. He holds the door for women. He's going to open the door.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if the woman's got pink hair and she's spitting curses at him or not. He's a man, she's a woman. He's going to open the door and he's going to hold the door, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate refutation of what's going on. But a lot of people get caught in the cycle of let's stay here in the manosphere space with feminists, really young, stupid feminists, and then the young men who have the temptation to react in different ways. It's really easy to give into the temptation.
Yeah.
Of just like
let's play by your rules then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are times when that's appropriate. If you're trying to make a particular point, you want her to
I think we've
see
both
the fruit.
Occasionally been at the gym hooping when a girl shows up and wants to play with the guys. You get to run through that calculus real quick of like, do you let this girl score or do you just block every shot?
We actually, I'll tell a story about this. My roommate and I were playing intramurals, and we got asked to come be on this team. We didn't know it was co-ed. And we showed up, and there was this girl on the other team. So many things we didn't know about the situation. This girl on the other team who'd been a starting Division I point guard. And she really thought she was all that. To even the playing field, they had made it so that if any man blocked a woman's shot, it was goaltending.
Oh, no.
And they said every girl's shot counted for double. So if a girl made a basket, it was 4 points. If she made a three-pointer, it was 6 points. If you block her shot as a dude,
2 points?
No, 4 points or 6
4
points.
points. Okay.
And I have just vivid memories of this where we were like, what are we doing here? Why are we here? But we told these people that we would. We'd given our word that we would come. They needed bodies. We jumped on.
It's like Logan.
Yeah, we were hoopers. So we're here and we're just like, what is happening? Like, this is the most absurd. And we're both tall. My roommate and I are both 6'4", and we both play, and I've got orangutan arms, and we're having to get out of the way of this girl's shot. Like, she's going to hit me in the face. Her release is not higher than my forehead.
Right.
So if you switch onto her or you help, then you have to be like bailing to let her shoot, or else it's going to be double. Well, it will be double. It'll just be goaltending.
Yeah.
And so we got called. There's these reflexes. If you're standing straight up and down, she shoots into your hands. It's like, okay, 4 points. And it was just it was so stupid. But the thing
was she talking?
The thing that was dumbest about it was she started running her mouth.
Oh, okay.
So we're sitting here like, this is so retarded in every meaning of the word. This is so dumb. And we just want to get out of here. And she's yapping. She starts yapping. And she's talking smack, and she's in your face, and you got something in your eye. Like, she's yelling at all of us every time a guy bails and gets out of her way so that it's not goaltending.
Yeah.
We're still, I think, not losing, actually. But we just realized we have to steal the pass. We have to steal the dribble. We cannot defend a shot because we're just going to get goaltending. Well, she starts John. And my buddy was at maybe the free throw line, and she came dribbling up to the three, yapping, and does this little like bunny hop into the 3-point shot that happens so much in women's basketball. And she bunny hops in and shoots from, it's a really low load, and she lets it fly. And he just jumps straight up. He had a pretty significant vertical at 6'4", high jump state champ back in high school. He just goes Tigger straight up and just grabbed the ball out of the air and then drilled her with it. And just because she started talking.
Yeah.
And the rules were all stupid. This whole thing's stupid. We don't want to be here. but we said we would. And I have this vivid image in my head of him just drilling her like dodgeball with his basketball.
That he blocked.
But he was way up there. You know, he's 38 inches off the ground, grabs the shot out of the air with one hand, looks down at her and just drills her on his way back down, and then turned to the ref and goes, 6 points, and ran to the other side.
6 points.
And
so he chose the...
He chose violence.
He chose violence
and it worked.
Yeah.
That one moment, it was like, she shut up. It's like, listen, this whole infrastructure is stupid. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't even be participating in this. This is dumb. This whole thing's a lie. Everything about this is fake. And you're pretending like this is real. And so he just disabused her of that pretense. And then we didn't do it again, but it did shut her up. She did stop yapping about how amazing she was and how she was better than all of us. So it was funny, and there's a little bit of like a little joy, but you can see how if you just chase that all the time,
that's bad.
It turns you into a villain. It's like it's a villain backstory, and you just want everybody to get justice and everybody to get comeuppance, and you forget that you will too. So you don't want any mercy, any grace, anything like that, and it becomes problematic. But Logan, and you think about these different heroes, and the characters I'm working with are entirely motivated by the desire for destruction, because those people deserve it.
Yeah,
which is true. Those people deserve it, but there are things that must be left to God.
Right.
You know, because you do not have the capacity to pursue that justice without self-destruction. And by the standard you judge, you will be judged. And you want to be this high and pure and lofty judge, and you want to just destroy. And I just want to I want to watch reel after reel after reel of stupid feminists getting owned. And what I don't want to watch is any reels of men being lazy, of men flaking, of men, not rising up. I would much rather compel guys and motivate guys to rise up to their true calling, regardless of what's happening around them. Yeah. Like to rise up above it. That's much, much better. I think my buddy did the right thing in that moment, in that basketball game. But you cannot remain just motivated for destruction. You can be motivated for truth. You can be motivated to live faithfully yourself as a man, but you cannot just be motivated to see other people get it in the teeth. Yeah. You know, just be thwarted. And I think that in storytelling, terminalist just stays in like slaughter.
Yeah, and then more and more creative slaughter where you're like, oh wow, he gutted that guy with his fancy hatchets. You know, like now it's going to become a thing.
Yep. And so it's just that over and over and over again. And it never pivots into like becoming an actual hero, like becoming a true hero.
Yeah, at least it didn't in season 1. I haven't seen anything else.
I didn't finish season 1. I bailed pretty early because like this is just darkness and one note on the piano getting hit over and over and over again. This is some kind of catharsis by destruction. And there just must be a pivot. There must be a pivot into righteousness and the pursuit of positive virtues, not just hatred and loathing of the darkness, where you're going to go down into hell and be the meanest of all the demons in hell. Yeah. But you're all down in the same, in the same place.
How do you, I guess, two things that are coming to mind. We might as well continue with our revenge as opposed to pivoting out of this. But Count of Monte Cristo was kind of like the classic revenge story. Is kind of
fun things about it.
Is kind of about that, right? Of just how his life was taken from him, and he sets out to try and get it back. And it seems to walk a pretty fine line. I was just curious what you think about it, because it seems like there's a real gratuitous element of it where you're like, yes, it took hundreds of pages, but boy, he got him. And then at the end, I do think he realizes some of what he's become. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so. I think it wanders a fine line. I think it wanders on both sides of the line. Okay. I think it goes into unhealthy places. It goes into decent places. And overall, it's a fun story to read and discuss, especially with younger kids. So 8th graders, 9th graders, and a little older. It's a good one to be like, okay, is this okay? It's a great one to unpack. Right. Because we all feel our flesh drawn the same direction. And so it gives you an opportunity to kind of wrestle with that question real time. And when is he across the line? When is he not?
Right. Of course, as with revenge stories, like you said, you set up the stakes real well where you hate the bad guy.
Yep.
And I think, they don't ever make it ambiguous in a revenge story. The bad guys are usually loaded up with as many terrible things as you can, which I guess it feels like some emotional cover. It's a little bit of emotional cover for the revenge.
For how brutal you're about to be to somebody.
Yeah.
But I would say this. The thing in Count of Monte Cristo is he's imprisoned. But the thing I think that Dumas realizes, but then dabbles with, is that he's imprisoned just as much after he gets out.
Okay.
So he's imprisoned by someone, and he is still imprisoned by that person afterward. So it's like, what is this? This is all prison.
Sure.
And there's this prison where he's just locked up, and then there's this prison where he's consumed entirely with a focus on one thing and one thing only, and it's that guy.
Same guy.
It's this
same
revenge.
Guy who ruined your life.
Yeah. So this whole thing, he took all of this part of your life, and now he's taking all of this part of your life, except for you're just giving it to him. You're just giving him that, and it really is interesting. Like when Erica Kirk forgave the guy who shot Charlie, everybody was astounded, but she cited specifically Christ saying, like, he's petitioning the Father to forgive these people. They know not what they do.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, is his prayer answered?
Forgive them.
Did these people who were there doing this thing, were they all forgiven?
I mean, if there's anybody you want praying for you, that is the only person.
We see one prayer from him. I'm trying to think of another. One prayer from Christ that receives a no.
Yeah.
And that's about going to the cross.
Yeah, let the cup pass. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he asks for any other way. There is no other way. He goes to the cross. He says, "Thy will be done," and he goes to the cross. Now on the cross, he prays another prayer, like, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And did God say no to that as well? I mean, I would have a high degree of expectation that the majority of people right there were saved.
Just running through that calculus, what do we know about them? I mean, we know the thief's there.
Yep. And we know one thief is in hell and one thief is in paradise.
Yep. We also know a centurion went and told somebody later.
I think it was his name is Longinus. I think.
Do we know his name?
I think his name
through tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, in tradition.
But the fact that
I don't remember. I think that's the centurion. Yeah.
The gospel writer says this guy said, "Wow, this must be a son of God." Like,
did the person who put the spear in his side repent and believe? Yeah. Did the guards at the tomb repent? They don't appear to.
Yeah.
The guards of the tomb are the first people to know about the resurrection. They run and tell the people who ran the kangaroo trial. We see right there, they aren't repentant. Yeah. They haven't repented because they're paying them money to not let the word get out. They're trying to bottle this up. Then the women find out. So we have the villains, the whole villain thread. They all get the news first, and they have not been saved. So when Christ is praying this, for whom is he praying, and about which of them did God say yes and God say no? We're going to find out. Yeah. And I actually think we're going to be surprised. But in that moment, that's like somebody going to the gas chamber and praying for the repentance and the salvation of somebody murdering them.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't realize is that true repentance and conversion is the absolute and total destruction of that person. It is the destruction and reconstruction of that person. So if you have some villain and the villain repents, he has been unmade. I mean, he's been destroyed. That man is gone. And a new man is being made up out of those ashes, and miraculously so.
Yeah.
And so really strong believers have always understood that. They've always understood that they're praying for the absolute annihilation of their enemies. Always. The absolute annihilation of their enemies, which means they're all going to be burned down and remade into friends and brothers and sisters like via repentance and new birth, or they're going to be cast into the darkness.
Yeah.
And so when people are motivated just to see judgment, as opposed to mercy, I would just say the fires of heaven are hotter than the fires of hell. Like the people burn away and are remade so they can enter the presence of God. The presence of God would be the ultimate torture. The hell that would be way, way, way worse for an unbeliever than the outer darkness where the worms dieth not, the fires never go out.
Yeah.
That hell is not as brutal as being held in the presence of God.
Yeah.
If in their state they were, they're brought into the presence of God, it would be far worse.
Yeah.
And so the ones that are burned up completely and remade, and now are in the presence of God, have gone through a more significant horror, in scare quotes, than the ones who will be cast out.
Yeah, our revenge story in the Old Testament, or aborted revenge story of Jonah, where he really wanted that first kind of revenge.
He wanted their destruction, and he got it.
Yeah, because they all repented.
He got it, but it's just not the destruction that his flesh could see.
Yeah, and
it's one of those things where, I mean, to see your enemy is completely unmade, completely undone,
unassyrianized,
and made into your family, made into your brothers and sisters, so deeply transformed that's what happens. And it ticks you off, because what you wanted to see was physical pain and agony.
He's like, I did not want those people to become Jews along with me. Obviously, they didn't become Jews, but worshiping the true God all of a sudden,
grafted into the vine.
Grafted into the vine. Super sad for Jonah.
Yeah, what the heck? And then it's not surprising he gets a vine and God kills the vine. So it's that kind of desire. We all feel it in our hearts, and revenge stories can be awesome. And I think they can be really, really fantastic opportunities for character arc, character journeys, because you're swapping out everything down to the motivation. So most other stories, when you transfer the motivation completely, you've lost your drive.
So sorry, what do you mean by that?
So let's say there's somebody who really, really wants to rescue his high school sweetheart. Then in Act 2, he finds out about some treasure, and he pivots to wanting the treasure. Yeah. What you did is you took out your motor. You took out the engine out of the story, and you tried to swap another one in really quickly.
Sure, it doesn't work.
Right. Now you could do, let's say a guy is, and I'm going to do something really trivial in a giant letter so everybody can see this. Let's say there's a guy who's going for treasure, and he discovers it's going to cost him his family, and he pivots and saves his family, discovering that they are the real treasure.
Sure.
So you can,
motivation's the same. He's looking for treasure. He keeps the real treasure. And he discovers
that this gold is pointless without that.
Which is, I think, what happens in National Treasure too.
So it's that's a really like chubby, obvious turn, right?
Yep.
So that's a very, very popcorny turn. But that's a turn. And that's an example of like you're swapping engines, but you're swapping engines like quickly. And you're swapping engines quickly to reveal character transformation.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think doesn't Raising Arizona do that?
A lot of things.
Like where they're, and it's pretty fun the way that they pull off that transition.
So you have people you have stories where somebody just wants a ton of money, and then they discover that they actually just want to survive. So you stole from the wrong guy. It's like what is $10 million if you're dead? People, thieves, steal, and then they're just trying to survive while they're being hunted. You have Nobody, where you've got this secret agent guy who's now a whipped beta suburban dad, and then he snaps and the old monster comes out, and
they're making another one, right?
They did it, and it bombed.
Oh, okay.
Nobody 2. I watched the trailer and it was just really uncompelling. But anyway, the point is that engine swap. So with revenge stories, it gives you one of the fastest opportunities for an engine swap that works, where somebody is motivated by just a desire to see agonistic destruction in their enemies, and it could be for very good reasons.
Right.
They want to see this agonistic destruction. And then they reach a certain point. There's an inflection point where they can choose. They have it in their hands. They can choose their agonistic destruction, or they can choose this positive reconstruction of something. So they can choose, basically they have this final choice, fork in the road, and you can swap that engine and they can choose a more healthy, a more healthy quest.
Okay. Gotcha.
And they can still end up defeating their enemies. It's just they're no longer motivated by this personal loathing and hatred. And so their enemy could die on the battlefield or not. And when their enemy dies, they don't have this enormous gratification. They don't find this tremendous gratification in his death or his destruction, because their eyes are on something else now.
Is that
and
because
they're motivated positively?
Is that because the flip between justice and mercy is kind of the story of humanity? Like
I think so.
That flip is the two sides of God that we struggle. Not two sides. That sounds like I'm splitting.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But basically, that pivot from I don't deserve justice anymore, I now get mercy, is very deeply human, and it's the difference between pivoting into death or pivoting into salvation.
Yep, which is the different death.
Yeah, which is a different.
So, which is death and resurrection versus just death.
It reminds me of Beowulf, obviously, one of my, the background of revenge in Beowulf, is spending so much time talking about how all the different Norsemen had all murdered each other for so long. And then Beowulf provides a new way forward, but dies.
Yeah.
And then, Beowulf ending with their hated tribes around them and a ton of treasure and
but the dragon's dead.
And the dragon is dead. But that feels like, as a culture, Beowulf's got that same fork, or I should say the Geats, the Yeots have the same choice ahead of them: Christianity or back to more of this blood feuding that we've been doing.
Yeah. And my dad is convinced that Beowulf is a Christian.
Yeah, sorry, I'm cribbing from Doug Wilson.
Yeah, he's convinced that it's a Christian epic, and that it is
set right before the conversion.
It
of
is
the
setting up
Anglo-Saxons,
the emptiness of this heroic blood feud code that they all lived by, and showing them a higher way. Beginning that conversation, just showing them the emptiness of that.
Yeah.
And not idolizing the end. It just.
And I think that's very interesting, because we've seen a lot of that same sort of character where you pursue death, and then if you choose death, dig two graves. That kind of story. But Beowulf is very noble and still ends up dead. Dead.
Yep.
Which it does seem pretty compelling. Yeah. Doesn't work out.
And dead because why?
Yeah.
Like what did all his men do?
Right. They gave up on him and left.
Yeah, all the men ran except for one.
Yeah, that fundamental failure of humanity.
So it is sort of like a gut punch at the end of this heroic epic that a bunch of these guys would be all following, tracking, and then just like,
right.
And then it ends with him dying with everybody else running away, except for one faithful guy who stuck it out. And it is an interesting rebuttal of their particular framework. I do think when you swap engines to stories, it's always motivation. And you can absolutely drag people in to a revenge story really easily, because the flesh is ready. It's
okay. We understand it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if I had to pick a movie that felt like your first kind of TikTok video, I get John Wick as like that sort of like, go watch the revenge of the revenge for your dead dog.
How many headshots can you have?
Right.
And if you want to have that, the first version of like, let's just annihilate our enemies, it's the perfect example is Taken.
Okay. Yeah.
Because WICK does that, but it does it like, you woke up this monster who's been an assassin. He is this amoral dirtbag, but you killed his dog.
Right.
Now you have Taken, you have somebody's daughter, because of his stupid ex-wife, who, and all the lies that got told, his daughter got placed in danger. It's everybody else's fault but his, right? Literally everyone else is culpable.
Sure.
Except for him.
Yeah. Totally nothing he did.
I remember when it came out, and it was called Patriarchy Porn. But I like the film. It was
a fun watch. They've done so many of them.
They keep it morally in a place where all of his vengeance is completely justified.
Right.
Because he is going until he gets her back. Like he's going until he gets her back. And that's what he's doing. And she got kidnapped. She's a hostage. He's going to be unrelenting in his destruction and his killing of every single person that he needs to kill to get to his daughter and to recover her. So it's not that she's dead.
Yeah.
She can't be brought back. And now he just needs to sate his unquenchable thirst for revenge.
Which is a little culpable.
Yeah. Right. So if
now,
she'd been dead,
right,
then suddenly the balance, tips, and it's harder to actually be okay with what he's doing. And it's understandable to see him begin that thing. And it would even be versions of it could be okay if he thought she was alive and then he found out she was dead and he decided to take down the entire infrastructure. It's like finding a rattlesnake in the bathroom and just being, I don't want it to bite anybody else either.
Right.
So the rattlesnake is going to die.
And especially when you add an entire prostitution ring behind it.
Where all these girls are being abducted. And
right.
This whole trafficking thing. So yeah, bring it down.
Yeah.
You could do that kind of thing. But you have to walk a much finer line. The fact that she's alive and he's going to kill everybody until he gets her back keeps that moral balance of his revenge.
Yeah, firmly in the green.
Because, it's all the way in the green because it's not actually revenge.
Yeah.
He's not motivated for revenge. He's motivated to get his daughter. And yes, it happens to be vengeance. And yes, all the people are going to pay along the way, beginning with the dude who was bait at the airport.
In an awesome Irish accent. Or is it Irish?
It's American, kind of. It's a Liam Neeson accent. So anyway, that one is an example.
So do you think that is patriarchy porn? Is that kind of,
yeah,
or it has become
sure.
it? It's become it now, I guess.
Sure, but it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I understand what the desire is when people watch it. The desire to feel like, yes, I am quite wronged. Nobody does understand me. Nobody does understand my gifts. And if my daughter's in trouble, I will move heaven and earth.
Yeah.
To get her back. Absolutely. That's exactly what guys, wish they could do, wish they'd be capable of doing and protecting to that level.
So porn's a very pejorative word for it, but it's definitely playing with that desire.
It's playing with that desire to be that kind of a hero.
Yeah.
To your family. A really powerful gang of Albanians could grab her in Paris and I could still get over there and get her back and leave.
Some of them would be electrocuted.
Yeah, 500 dead people behind me. So that's but it's not a revenge story.
Yeah.
But it plays the same exact it plays with the same exact fuel.
Now, I think we talked about this before, but Man on Fire does that same thing where there actually is the bad motivation that he has to realize is bad. Denzel right at the end and save her.
Well, he suicides himself, but he didn't need to.
No. Oops. Not morally in the green.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand it. It's like, I mean, okay. I understand him going to get this girl back at all costs. But the end of, I think he blows himself up.
I'm trying to remember as well.
I think he's packed explosives up his rear end and he switches with the girl. He's killed so many people and he's such a problem, they just want him now. And so he makes that exchange and he's straight up, my life for hers. She's released. So that's great. But then instead of going off and being tortured and dying, he blows himself up. So he's
to kill them all as well.
Yeah.
A little Samson. Isn't it kind of Samson?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where it's so delicately crafted that like, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's a little over the line. That's fine.
Right.
In like individual killing.
Right.
Along the way.
And you've made the point that we don't actually have to sort through them all perfectly in that way as we're watching.
Yeah, you
film.
can watch it and understand like, okay, it's weaving like Count of Monte Cristo. It's weaving along this line. But I do think that Taken is a lot more fun to watch than Man on Fire. Because it's more popcorn.
Right.
Because what is his vice?
Man on
his
Fire.
His vice was he was not Man on Fire. In Taken, Liam Neeson's vice is that he was saving the world too much.
Oh, was it? I can't remember.
He was away from home.
Oh, that's why the divorce happened.
He was away from home. He was missing birthdays. He was, or not missing. He was always stressed about not missing birthdays. He got in big trouble once for not missing a birthday. But his he was too absent. Why was he absent? He was busy saving the world with his unique set of skills.
Right.
So now he's divorced, but he's also super effective. Now we go to Man on Fire. He's alcoholic. He's nihilistic. He has culpability. He starts out with culpability, and his redemption is in his self-sacrifice. So he redeems himself. But the problem I have with it is that he wants to die and that he's nihilistic. So the sacrifice doesn't feel
Gotcha.
that grand.
Right.
You know, it's kind of what he's after, and just a bonus. He gets to take some baddies with him.
Gotcha.
So
a little bit of motivation. It's
and culpability. He's culpable at the beginning.
Right.
And then
well, it reminds me, obviously, it was an Equalizer, that franchise. Same thing. Much more like trying to redo Taken.
And much more popcorny. And he's just a benevolent
guy
dude who's just helping people
pie,
out.
you know, and he just happens.
And it's fun to watch. It's like, so it is an Equalizer is in fact fun to watch, where it's like, look at this sweetheart. Look at this nice guy. He's driving Uber and he's coming across bad things. And when he does, he takes responsibility for them. And that is a fundamentally masculine thing to do. So
to find every way in a Home Depot to kill somebody.
But he takes responsibility for everything around him. Now, I'm not talking about the end of the franchise. But the beginning, when it started out, Equalizer has Denzel driving, like a guy puts a sexually assaulted girl in the back of his Uber. He goes back to that party and just obliterates the dudes who had drugged her and assaulted her. And that's how he goes. Like, he's helping the old man whoever's in his Uber or Lyft or whatever it is, I don't remember, but he is taking responsibility for everything around him. His blast radius, everything within reach, he is taking responsibility for. He's shepherding it and he's improving it. Later on, they start ladling demons onto him, and he's got his past story, and he's got all all that kind of stuff in the franchise. But the first one at the jump is just a guy who's retired, who has the ability to change things for people, and anybody who crosses his path, he leaves them better off. Or judged. One or the other.
I mean, I guess that vigilante. I guess that goes all the way back to the judges. I was trying to think. I was thinking it's pretty American, but then I was realizing actually Robin Hood's same thing.
And
everybody does it.
And even there, it's less vigilante and more cowboy. So it's one of those things. If you're in the Wild West, and if you're walking by a house in Cleveland and you see some dude beating a woman with the butt of a shotgun through the picture window of his little crappy house, and you're there. It's on you now.
It's not vigilante.
It's not vigilante at all.
This problem.
And this is happening in real time. It's on you. Get your butt in there.
Right.
Like, you're going through the gate.
If you're not Denzel, maybe call the cops first.
No, not if there's a gun there. You're calling the cops on your way in the front door.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's like you're going in. It's not vigilante at all. So the way they've constructed it with Equalizer, not the Queen Latifah TV version, which I have not bothered to look at even kind of, is really that question. When you have that ability and things cross your path and you are capable of setting them right, then should you? Sure. Real time. So it's interesting, but I do think that these pitches today, and lots of pitches, a huge part of the struggle is what's the engine? Where's the motor? What's the driver for the character? So what is it? What is the thing that this character truly wants? And so Revenge from Count of Monte Cristo, or I've always wanted to see a dragon. It's like, well, you better swap in a different motivator real quick. And if you have a truck driver who has a chance to destroy this hive mind, why does he want to? Why is it so critical to him? How did he lose his family?
Right.
Like, why is this so essential? And like, you look at Elon Musk and his drive against the woke mind virus, he calls it, because he lost a kid to it. So he has a son that he's lost. Right. And his son is dead as far as he's concerned. And he's dead because of that. And so he is on a vengeful mission, but he's on a vengeful mission against an ideology, which is a little different than a vengeful mission against people with names.
Right.
So he's doing what he's doing on Twitter and so on. It's not X, it's Twitter, Elon, but for that reason. But motors and stories, the engines for characters just matter so much. You know, they matter a lot, and they will determine whether or not, with little changes from like the animated Mulan to the live action Mulan, that motor changes, and you have one. I think my daughters talked about this on their podcast. Help! We're being repressed.
Find it available on all streaming platforms.
The pivot of that engine is real, and it takes it from
I don't think
something that actually
remember.
is.
I was quite fond of the cartoon version, and I don't know if I watched the live action.
But it moves from something that dog whistles feminism for sure, but she actually has to.
But I remember everybody saying it's a feminist movie, and they're like, well, no, she saved her dad from dying, like certain death.
Yep.
And
it's way more Esther.
Yeah.
And so, she has to jump in and be a hero. Sure,
the men look dumb and she looks very smart.
But they did, in fact, construct the story in such a way with all the dominoes placed that she was motivated correctly. And then in the way in which she was not motivated correctly, she actually repents of that. She pivots, whereas the live action is just full-on feminist gospel.
Gotcha.
So the motors change, and the desire to see people bleed and suffer is just terrible. I mean, it's a really terrible, toxic motivator.
One peg with the basketball, then
laughter,
then laughter,
and then laughter. So there are times then seeing somebody eat their own cooking is not at all fleshly and awful. But you can feel the pull immediately, even there. I mean, the pull to just be entirely
the Bible
terrible.
The Bible's pretty clear about it in some ways that pop in your head, like don't rejoice when your enemy stumbles. Vengeance is mine; I will repay. I mean, there's enough. Like you always wish God had put a little wiggle room in there, where like, can't I just be a tiny bit glad?
Yes. Yep.
But
it's like be careful. Like be careful. Vengeance is mine. And when we get a little taste, it can be really funny. Yeah. Like it can be funny, but can also be like, dude, what is wrong with you? So a guy in a gym watching a girl stuck under weights, it's like, okay, if you laugh, I then run grab that weight bar and get it off of her. Yeah. Did you actually like refute her position more or less than just sitting there watching her struggle? Because you refuted one part, she needs help, but the other part, men are jerks. You did not refute that at all. Yep. So it's like men
immortalized that one.
That one's forever. She's like, man, I was stuck under weights. These clowns wouldn't do anything, and so much for men being protectors, right? You know, and she's right. Bunch of dudes were around. Nobody helped her. Now, if they had helped her, would she have been gracious and thankful? Like, would she have been
probably not? Because that's pretty embarrassing.
I don't know. But the point is, if she's stuck under the weights, like, okay, she's already received some, reality. The next reality of a man having to lift the weight off of her is important. And so the two things, the guy who will jump over and help, knowing that he disagrees with every single thing this woman's about, like not liking her at all. Right. That man who jumps over there and helps her is refuting her worldview if she's a little feminist. In toto. A, she's not as strong as she thinks she is, and she needs men. B, men are not jerks. Yeah. Men are protectors. You can trust a man more than a bear. Right. Like in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But then you have the other guy who's just going to stare at her and laugh because she's stuck. Like, well, she's kind of confirmed in a whole lot of her horrible opinions.
And I mean, if only these people understood rhetoric. She doesn't have to believe in order for you to have made your point. Yeah. And for your point to have landed, for her to be obligated to believe. Right. And so I do think that there's a real strong motivator in the aggrieved,
which young men are right now.
Yeah.
In this motivator in the aggrieved to just see them destroyed and to rejoice when they are destroyed, which is to be destroyed yourself as well, to have both parties destroyed. So if she's destroying her femininity, now you, by sitting back and just wanting her to be destroyed, you're destroying your masculinity at the same time. And now the destruction is mutual and complete.
And our society is ruined.
Yep. And we have huge parts of our society that are like that right now. So men who are like, you don't understand. There's a war against boys. Yes, check. There is. You don't understand. They're bratty. Yep.
Right. Entitled and I don't owe them anything. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What do you owe God because he gave you hands and muscles and manhood and masculinity? Like, what do you owe to him? And the situation is very, very different. So it's unfortunate, but I've seen it more and more and more. Guys just raging. Like there was just male rage, especially on social media, just at these chicks. And it's really, really unfortunate. So the ultimate refutation is what Charlie modeled. Like, go make something of yourself. Like, and don't do it just to spite them. Like, that's that revenge motor. Like, go do it because you're supposed to actually get a return on all the talents God gave you. Yeah. Like, God gave you strength. Pursue it. He gave you a mind.
The 5-year-olds that I'm having, learn to tackle for rugby, that's the verse. It's the glory of young men is your strength. It's okay to be strong. Like, go be strong, but don't do it because, I don't know, someone said you couldn't.
Somebody said you're a wuss. Yeah. Don't do it to hurt people.
Right.
Like, go do it to get a return on the muscles God gave you, on the muscles and bones he gave you.
Right.
And to be a true man in a picture of the ultimate man in Christ. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to picture him, which means taking a bunch of crap onto your shoulders that you didn't deserve to take. That is ultimately the picture of Christ. To pick crap up that's not yours and make it yours and carry it. Even though
that pivot from justice to mercy is
for sure. And I think that in a lot of stories, it's easy to light the fire and the engine, then propel people through, the comeuppance, the fleshly comeuppance desire that we have to see everybody suffer somehow for what they're doing, for the choices they're making. And it's got to shift. Like it's got to swap out. That character arc in ourselves has to swap out. So peg the point guard one time. Help her see the truth. That's just kindness. That's just kindness.
It's soul food is what it is.
But then don't just follow those accounts that only show that and just watching that crap.
Right.
And you're not actually going to create a positive vision ever. It's just
there are plenty of just men only games. You can just go to the men only games after that point.
Yes, which we did. We never set foot in that place again. We done?
Yeah, we're done. Boom.